The compact executive market has traditionally been dominated by three German offerings from Audi, BMW and Mercedes, all delivering the same thing but in very different ways. The Audi with its impressive build quality, the BMW with its outstanding driving dynamics. So where does that leave the Mercedes C-Class? Before you decide on the important things like the engine size and which optional extras to have, you need to decide what kind of C-Class you would actually like, a sporty saloon or a comfortable cruiser, because it's available in two very different versions, both of which look and drive completely differently. Opt for the Sport and you'll get the distinct three-pointed star on the grille, rather than protruding from the bonnet as seen on the SE and Elegance models. Sport spec versions also get a more aggressive looking body kit and alloy wheels, courtesy of Performance Wing AMG. There's a real sense of occasion behind the wheel of the C-Class. Okay, the dials might not be as showy as the Audi A4 and the build quality may not be in the same league either, but you certainly won't be disappointed. Everything has a real thought-through feel to it, whether it's the soothing dial lighting or the moulded finger ridges in the interior door handles. The centre console is fairly clutter-free too, and that's thanks to this single rotary knob, which controls the on-screen functions for radio, phone and the optional sat-nav. The C-Class isn't cheap when matched pound for pound with its rivals. Having said that, the standard equipment is pretty generous, with all models armed with dual-zone climate control, daytime running lights and electric windows. Safety kit is pretty impressive too, with all models having 7 airbags, including one that is specifically designed to protect the driver's left knee. You won't be found wanting for space in the C-Class either, as there's enough leg stretching room for 4 adults to relax in comfort. There is also space for a 5th person, but they may struggle a little bit with the legroom because of the transmission tunnel running through the centre of the car, a hindrance with all rear-wheel drive cars. And the boot is one of the biggest in its class, and a very practical rectangular shape. On the road, the handling varies depending on which version you opted for. All versions come with adaptive suspension, but the Sport model is more agile thanks to lower, stiffer settings and more direct steering. But it just doesn't have the same involvement as the BMW 3 Series. The ride is pretty firm, but despite being more direct than the SE and the Elegance models, the steering isn't as precise as we would like. As for engines, there's no shortage of choice, from a 1.8 litre 158 horsepower to a heart-stopping 6.3 litre AMG version that will trouble many supercars for performance. But for driving in the real world, the C220 CDI is probably the pick of the range, especially for company car drivers, with its low emissions and running costs matched with strong performance. Some of the smaller diesel engines are a little gruff too, and probably best avoided, but elsewhere across the range, the C-Class is a comfortable, refined motorway cruiser. Mercedes of old were always geared around comfort and elegance, alienating those customers looking for something with a bit more sparkle behind the wheel. But with the C-Class, Mercedes has a car that will not only appeal to those new customers, but also attract the more traditional one.